Hello everybody. Today is the day that we show you a commentary of the adventure of SauceBoss. Now, this story that we will be purveying to you guys within the first 5 episodes, or scratch that, we will be having a whole series for this called the SauceBoss Saga, and it will be the adventure and the bringing up of SauceBoss as a young child. This is volume 1. It'll be about 10 to 15 minutes long. It'll be the very beginning of something that we hope will go on in the future. Now, as you see, SauceBoss grew up playing the Nintendo as a young boy. He really enjoyed the Nintendo. He liked all those Asians that worked their asses out to make good games. His name used to just be Miguel, until you change to SauceBoss, which will be way later on in the series. As you can see, SauceBoss was a very family-oriented person. He liked to watch TV in the living room, with the occasional staring at the fruit on the table, and his mom across from him. His favorite question was, "Mother, would you like to buy some naranjas?" And his mother would always say, "SauceBoss, I will teach you the value of money, or in your case, pesos. In due time, SauceBoss. In due time." Or Miguel. Sorry, I get confused. So, yeah, you know, Miguel, young SauceBoss, started to go on his journey, and he left the house. He would go to see Professor Oak at the local laboratory in his town. As you can see, there's a fat Asian guy he walked by. And Miguel's like, "Look at that Asian guy. I'm gonna stare at him. Look at him mow them crops like a Asian." So then, SauceBoss would walk over, and he would try to leave the town. But the professor would say, "No, Miguel, you cannot do that. That was close, Miguel. You would have almost got high from the weeds, and you're only 12. But Miguel was like, "I like weeds. Wait, what's happening?" That's what Miguel said. And then Miguel saw a wild Pikachu. And Professor Oak's like, "I'm gonna catch this Pikachu for you, Miguel, because it will harness your power for the future. And eventually you'll be able to turn your Pikachu into a Raichu when you're a SauceBoss. It will journey with you." Well, you know what? You can later on. You can turn anything into a Raichu if you just believe. How do you think SauceBoss got to where he was? So, the young Miguel would go with the professor to the laboratory. He would meet his arch nemesis, Phantom. Or Chuck. His name is Chuck. Sorry about that, guys. His name was Chuck. And Chuck, at that time, was 18 years old. It turned out to be Chuck Norris. And SauceBoss in the future would be the most famous guy in the world. And he did not like Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris always took his thunder, and he was determined to take it back, and with impressive fashion. SauceBoss was a guy that you couldn't underestimate because he was always so happy. The jobs had to fire him because he was just too cool for the jobs. But getting into the real thing in the matter at hand, Miguel, at the time, was getting a Pokeball from the professor, getting a Pokemon, because he would eventually rival Chuck Norris to be the coolest person on the planet that the people of the world have ever seen. Now, young Miguel Amari Lopez, grew up in the city. I think it was Los Angeles, California. Big bustling city. Eventually, he moved to a little village, which takes place in this video, called Longview, Washington, when he was 12. And he grew up. There were a lot of hookers in town, but he was like, "No, I will go the right way." Now, Miguel, being the guy he is, forgot the nickname is Pikachu. So he just calls him Pikachu. And he's like, Chuck is like, "Wait, Miguel, we must battle." check out my Pokemon, okay? And Miguel was like, I would love to check out your Pokemon. So here he goes. They're in a Pokemon battle. Chuck Norris against Miguel SauceBoss Lopez. Chuck Norris pulled out an Eevee, and SauceBoss was like, my Pikachu gonna rape you in the butt. And as you can see, SauceBoss was really good when he was at a young age. Now, he had a friend. His name is Goldbug. And unfortunately, later on in his life, he became mentally retarded due to smoking too much of the weed. It made him think he was some sort of Mac Miller fan. And as you can see, SauceBoss was really good with his Pikachu. And Chuck Norris couldn't do anything. And then SauceBoss finished them off. The first person to ever do so against the mighty Chuck Norris. And SauceBoss's Pokemon grew to level 6. And SauceBoss was so happy. Miguel ran around town saying, I bet Chuck Norris after this battle. But after due time, Chuck Norris was shocked that SauceBoss had beaten him. So, wow. This series is going to be the best thing in the world. I mean, the best thing the world has ever seen. I don't think anyone has ever seen the magnitude of SauceBoss in the human eye. I think if you saw SauceBoss head on, your eyes, they wouldn't burn out, but they would just overflow with joy. Everything would look like a double rainbow to you in his presence. Now, Miguel's Pikachu had the first taste of being high in that photo you saw about 10 seconds ago. So now, Miguel was... Well, in episode 2, Miguel, the SauceBoss Lopez, and his loyal and handy Pokemon, Pikachu, will journey into the forest of the unknown. What awaits SauceBoss in Volume 2 will have to be decided by the fans. What would you like to see from SauceBoss? What would you like to see his life unfold in front of your eyes? It's up to you, because only you can choose the SauceBoss. Would you like to buy something on a house?